Judgment, Shame, and Guilt. It is here that I wish to take a detour into a specific area of life experience and emotional quality of life that all humans experience to one degree or another. As we look at what gets in the way of living a meaningful life and intentionality, creating your life as the source of love, know that judgment, shame, and guilt can figure prominently. Some of you have become wired to measure yourself against external standards to such a degree that thinking about becoming the source of love while in human form can be truly perplexing. Being oriented to judge yourself against someone else or your work or effort against a pre-established benchmark is not abnormal. In fact, it is part of the long-term experience of all that is to learn about what love is, where it comes from, and who's responsible for giving it to whom. Every human, at some point, needs to learn to validate the self, to be loving toward and accepting of the self, and perceiving that one has not measured up or made mistakes is part of the process. Prior, I have mentioned a bit about judgment, and asked you to take a deep breath and accept that no one expects you to be perfect unless you are doing so. I wish to be clear that if your journey to learning about love includes overcoming self-judgment, it is a given that along the way, as you live human lives, you will draw others to you who will judge you. You will magnetize into your life, whether through relationships or family dynamics, others whose expectations you cannot meet. All humans are wired to one degree or another to want to be liked because you need to be loved. Many spend lifetimes looking for the approval of others so that there exists at least some love. If you are someone who experiences self-judgment, shame, or guilt, this text as a whole is doubly important for you. This is because measuring the self against an external situation is an exercise in giving something else the power to define who you are. That phrase might seem a bit out of place here, so let me explain. When you look for validation or approval from another, you are putting in that person's or that situation's hands your ability to love yourself. In many ways, your entire culture is based upon the goal of receiving support and encouragement from external sources. It is part of the process for all that is to learn about receiving love versus generating it. It is therefore a creation of all that is, and this means that it is normal for you and others to cycle through. Yet at some point along the way, something might have become extremely important to you, such as a desired experience or outcome. When this happens, it seems easy to put a great deal of energy in the direction of getting that desire or need met, having that experience or seeing that outcome come into existence. How much energy can you extend in the direction of getting something, of experiencing some form of outer approval and validation? You can, in fact, bank the integrity of your life force, your vitality and passion on this thing or situation happening or not happening, depending upon your desire. And so it happens that sometimes along the way you do not get what you want, and all that you banked on it can seem wasted and or lost. It does not have to be gone from you if you understand the true purpose of opportunities that come to you to teach you more about what love is, where it comes from, and who's responsible for giving it to whom, because then you can retain your sense of personal power no matter how particular scenarios turn out. All of this is meant to paint a picture of humans who judge themselves for not measuring up or not delivering something as conceived or promised, might find themselves consistently or even chronically oriented toward the external to show them that they deserve love. But since all of creation exists in order to show you in what ways you perceive you are not getting love from others and external sources, the universe does not rush in to validate you, unless you are drawing in codependent situations to your life to show you how to make the search for love worse before you can make it better by becoming the source of love. If you are waiting for external sources to validate you, then you will live a life of waiting. It will not happen in a meaningful way that fills the spaces left when others have not loved you the way that you needed and wanted. These situations can lead to cycles that become downward spirals. Many times those who look for such validation, love, and permission to be the self fully and without apology or regret, and do not find it, end up in various ways hurting themselves. For some, it is not long before the sense of emptiness can begin to lead to behaviors meant to fill the inner void, the sense of lack of love. As the rest of this text describes, your ability to be spiritually and in all other ways healthy depends on your willingness to be the source of love for yourself. How long it takes you is entirely within your power. Ultimately, all beings will get there, because this is the point of the manifestation experiment we are all living out. If you are someone who relates to this sense of emptiness that has led to self-destructive behaviors, please begin to view yourself not as someone who is doing something wrong or who deserves punishment for one reason or another, or perhaps for every reason. Choose now to view yourself as a work in progress, a divine being who has at times been clueless about how to be the source of love for yourself. You have not been taught this, and so you have perhaps not seen how to do it. Maybe you know this, but have perceived that you are not strong enough to make it happen. You are the only one judging yourself, and you can at times step into your divine power by learning to view your life as an outgrowth of your soul's intention to learn through becoming loving.